Zabrang 94.7 FM.
My question to you and Senator Mitchell is, do the NDP party, which is the official opposition, do they have any representation in the Senate?
The problem that if the NDP ever were to form the government, the Constitution requires that the Senate exists and that it passes their legislation. And so I don't know how they would actually handle that. But I don't think that's going to be the issue because Mr. Trudeau is changing the face of politics in this country, and he is doing remarkably well. Very, very smart, very powerful, and he's standing up for people's rights. I was meeting this morning this afternoon at a Sikh Gurdwara, and the issue of the Charter of Rights in Quebec, this assault on religious freedoms came up, and this is an issue of the first leader that came out on that was Mr. Trudeau. He didn't wait to see what the political winds were. He came out right away that day. It was 2 weeks later before the other two leaders came out, which brings me again to it that the point that I understand that Darshan was making is in this case it's about process. We're not happy with Wallen and Duffy and Brazeau. They're not my friends. I'm not delaying their punishment because of that. I'm saying, and my colleagues are saying, as Darshan I think said, some conservative senators and some conservative members of parliament, they're saying, wait a minute, this is Canada. Mr. Harper, just because you've got a political problem with your convention next week, that's not a reason to rush to judgment and to literally lynch these people. These people have rights.
Well, Senator. No.
Yes, Senator.
No, Senator, my question to you, I think you named 3 conservative senators. All they're asking is, they just want to follow your direction, just to carry on the debate, and all they want is, they want them to be suspended, but with pay and all the benefits. So what will be the stand of the Liberal Party?
Want to suspend them without pay. And there's no...
No.
But I think the senator, conservative senator leader, the Kerry John, he's already backtracking on this now. Okay,
well, now they're starting, because they're getting pressure from within their own caucus. The conservatives, there's a big split. They're starting to back off.
Yeah, they're back off, and they're going to, who knows what because James Cohen, Liberals brought in this amendment, and now they want to have that amendment as their own. And so the conservatives say, okay, we fixed this problem. We took care of it. So now they're backpedaling on this.
So they are. Our amendment was simply to set up a committee of the Senate that would be able to, like it was done in Britain in the last 10 years, was done in the Canadian Senate to punish another senator in the late 90s. Set up a process that gives people a chance to defend themselves properly, gives them their rights. It may be and give us direction on punishment. It may be that suspending without pay is the appropriate punishment. We're not saying it is or it isn't, but we don't know enough about whether we haven't given them the process, the due process of law. One of the reasons why Canada is a beacon for people around the world and why people feel safe and secure and are treated fairly here is because we believe in the due process of the law. You can't. If we don't give that to 3 senators, then everybody's rights are in jeopardy.
So what will happen tomorrow when you will go back to Senate?
Well, that's a really, really interesting question. What's happened now is that they moved closure. That is, the Conservatives moved to limit debate. So we'll have a debate on that motion, the closure motion. Mm-hmm. They will pass it. That will give us 6 more hours of debate on the motion to suspend these senators. And if nothing changes, although Darshan's right, the Conservatives are really backing off because they're getting scared now. Canadians are saying to me, I was in the airport in a lineup and somebody, asked me, literally, I said, asked me why I look so tired. Something I'd never seen in my life. Said, why do I look so tired? I said, because I've been in this debate. And this person said, you got to do the right thing. Don't give up. You keep going and do this right. And that is what I think is the message that's getting through to Mr. Harper. Mr. Harper, you can't be a bully. Not when it comes to people's rights. And lots of Canadians know it. We know as Canadians what's the right thing to do. So So it may be that they're backing off and they're going to accept our amendment to have a committee. It may be that they may want to say, well, rather than 2-year suspension without pay, we'll say suspension with pay. I'm not sure that's the right answer. Again, these people haven't had a chance to establish the facts of their case. I'll give you an example. One of the things that was presented to us as the facts behind the Walden case was the document done by Deloitte, by the auditors. Well, would you convict somebody in a Canadian court of law on one report by one set of auditors, or a police report when nobody got cross-examined, when they couldn't question it? What kind of country would we become? What kind of country do we want to be? Justin Trudeau is a leader who is talking about rights and about fairness and about treating all Canadians equally, and that is why he's the guy. He's the leader that came out against the Charter of Rights in Quebec, this one again that will subdue religious freedoms, and he's the one that's standing and fighting. The Liberals are doing that, and that's what we're doing in the Senate too. And yeah, we'll take some political heat for it, but this isn't about politics. This is way, way, way more important than politics. This is about the very nature, the soul of Canadians, of what we are as Canadians.
That's important. Gambling on the rights of people.
So you will have a debate, and then it will be a motion, either sending back to a committee, or maybe with few liberal or conservative amendments, it will go. The motion will move on. And if somehow, like conservative come and they made major changes to the suspension motion, what you will do? Let's say if they don't want to even suspend the senators, then what will be your position?
Well, that's right. It's a very tough question, because again, no matter what they come back with, okay, we're not going to suspend them anymore, but we're going to do something else. Well, we'll have to look at that at the time. But what we have to again be careful of is that now that they realize they've offended the process of law, they try to water it down so the offense of the process of law doesn't have such great consequences, and they're going to want us to vote for it. I don't know. I mean, I'm standing defending the process of law.
You're putting to Senator Mitchell. That's a hypothetical question. You have for Senator Mitchell.
It's hypothetical, yeah, but it's still, no matter if there's going to be a panel, and Darsh has exactly right. And he knows legislative rules, but the point is that they can't manipulate the process of law, and so they want to try and do that this week. We'll have to look at it and see, but I'll tell you, it's still a question of making sure those people get the chance to defend themselves properly. If they don't, then every Canadian's rights are in jeopardy. Every Canadian's rights, and many of the people listening to this radio station right now didn't come to Canada because they wanted their rights in jeopardy. They came to Canada because we protect people's rights.
Yes, Senator Mitchell, once again, welcome to Southern Radio.
Thank you. It's great to be here.
Yeah. So at last, Senator Mitchell, like what you want to tell to our audience and to people that where Liberal Party stands, and in future, what Liberal Party will do to clean up these kind of acts, though?
Well, as Mr. Trudeau said, it's really a question of who you appoint. This is 3 now, and one our Liberal has resigned already. So 4 of 105 senators, and the entire institution is being defined by them. In part, that's the Senate's fault. We don't let people know the great work that we do, and we do great work. And in areas that other people, that elected politicians wouldn't necessarily be directed because there's no votes there. We did great studies on mental health issues, on human rights issues, on cyberbullying. There were 3 major issues mentioned in Mr. Harper's throne speech last week that were addressed in major Senate studies within the last 3 or 4 months. So the military got helicopters and major tanks in Afghanistan because of the Defense Committee's reports. So that's part of it. We have to get out the message. But our position right now is we take the high road. We do the right thing. We make sure the process of law is protected, and that we have a subcommittee that will give us information on what appropriate punishments will be after listening to these defendants, because that's exactly what they are, have the chance to properly defend defend themselves. And then we're not looking to be easy on them. We're just as angry as everybody else in Canada is. But we're looking to, when we make that decision, that we're not being unfair about them, and that we're not reneging on Canadians' rights. That Senate stands up for people's rights. That's what we do.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Good day and Shabbat to all. Thank you.